I've been blessed with fame, money, and success, but nothing ever touched my soul like Mecca and Medina did. I've been blessed in many ways in my life, but nothing compares to what I felt when I walked through the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. This wasn't about money or fame, it was about truth. The kind of truth that doesn't just touch your mind, it transforms your soul. And once that truth finds you, you can't walk away the same. It began with an invitation. One morning, while sitting quietly and thinking about life, the grind, the purpose, the reason behind it all, a friend walked in and asked if I had ever been to Mecca. I had traveled to many places, but never there. He smiled and said, "Maybe it's time you see what money can't buy." That line hit deep because in this world, we chase what shines, but the real treasures don't shine, they glow. So I agreed to go, not for cameras, not for attention, but because something inside whispered, "You need to see this." On that flight to Saudi Arabia, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept racing. I'd met celebrities, billionaires, preachers, hustlers, all chasing something. But it dawned on me that peace isn't something you chase. It's something you find when you stop running. Looking out that airplane window, I whispered, "God, I don't know what I'm about to see, but I'm ready." As the plane descended toward Jeddah, I felt calm, not fear, not nervous, peace. For a man who's lived in noise all his life, that peace meant everything. When I stepped foot in Mecca, the air felt heavy but sacred, as if the whole place breathed with you. People from every corner of the world stood side by side, white, black, brown, rich, poor, all dressed alike, walking the same direction. No titles, no fame, no VIPs, just souls. For the first time in a long time, that felt right. Then I saw the Kaaba. I'd seen pictures all my life, but standing there in front of it was different. It felt like my soul had been searching for this place since before I was born. My eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but realization. When truth finds you, pride disappears. I whispered, "God, I'm here. Do whatever you need to do in me." Mecca felt like a mirror. I saw my reflection in people I had never met. Doctors walked beside farmers, billionaires beside janitors, all equal before their creator. In that moment, I understood that humility isn't weakness, it's strength under control. I found myself helping an old man who stumbled, sharing my water with strangers, listening to prayers whispered by people who had crossed the world just to ask for forgiveness. That night, I thought deeply about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a man born an orphan who changed the world through truth, compassion, and patience. We read leadership books every day, yet he wrote the greatest one just by the way he lived. I realized that real success isn't measured by fame, it's measured by faith. After my time in Mecca, I traveled to Medina, the city of peace. If Mecca was power, Medina was love. The air was soft, the people gentle, and the spirit of that place felt like a whisper from God. As I walked toward the Prophet's mosque, I didn't speak or take pictures. Some moments aren't meant to be captured, they're meant to be felt. I saw people crying, not from pain, but from gratitude. Standing before the Prophet's mosque, I could feel the history, the mercy, the love. I thought about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, how he walked those same streets with humility and patience. That was true leadership, real manhood, to carry love even for those who wronged you. At a small museum nearby, I saw a cup, a cloak, and sandals like those he wore. I stood there in silence, realizing that the man who changed the world owned almost nothing. I laughed quietly at myself because we lose sleep over watches and cars, while the greatest man who ever lived had less and gave more. That moment shifted me. Blessings aren't what you hold, they're what you share. Simplicity isn't about having less, it's about wanting less. In that quiet, I saw how loud my life had become. That night I sat by the window looking out at the lights of Medina, still, peaceful, and thought about everything I'd been through, fame, success, mistakes, lessons. I whispered, "God, I've told a lot of jokes in my life, but tonight I'm listening." Tears fell, not from sadness, but from gratitude. I thanked him for what I already had, my family, my breath, my second chances. I remembered the Prophet, peace be upon him, how he lost so much, suffered deeply, but never gave up. Real success isn't about applause, it's about endurance. Staying kind when life isn't fair. Staying faithful when nothing makes sense. Before dawn, I woke to the sound of the Adhan, the call to prayer. The whole city echoed with it. It wasn't just sound, it was spirit. I stood still, eyes closed, feeling my soul resonate with it. I said softly, I'm not Muslim, but I feel you in this. Watching people walk calmly toward the mosque, I realized they rise before the sun not for money or fame, but for faith. Peace doesn't come from control, it comes from surrender. When I returned home, everything looked the same, but I wasn't. My house, my cars, my schedule, all still there, but my heart had shifted. After standing in a place where millions bow together in unity and gratitude, the noise of the world felt empty. I understood that peace isn't found by changing your location, it's found by changing your perspective. I didn't bring home souvenirs. I brought silence. And in that silence, I could finally hear God. A few weeks later, a young man at the airport asked, Mr. Harvey, are you Muslim now? I smiled and said, no, son. But I learned something from them. I told him that faith has no color, no nationality, no language. It's universal. In Mecca, I saw every face imaginable, black, white, Arab, Asian, all bowing to one God. No status, no ego, just faith. If the world prayed together like that, shoulder to shoulder, we wouldn't be fighting the way we do. Unity isn't a dream, it's a discipline. Peace is a choice you make every day. One evening, sitting on my porch, watching the sunset, I spoke to God like he was right beside me. I said, Lord, I've chased money, chased success, chased applause, but now I just want to chase peace, because peace is the real luxury. I thought again about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, how he always thanked God even with nothing. That's the secret, gratitude. I made a promise to thank God every night for 3 things, no matter how my day goes. Because gratitude doesn't change your situation, it changes you. When I took that journey, I thought I'd learn about Islam, but what I discovered was humanity. The Prophet Muhammad taught me that real greatness isn't in power, it's in compassion. It's not about how many people serve you, it's about how many you serve. Success without humility is noise, and love without sacrifice is empty. So I came back with one truth in my heart: to live right, live like him. Be kind when it's hard. Forgive when it's unfair. Give when no one's watching. Trust God when the plan doesn't make sense. That's faith. That's peace. That's purpose. I didn't just travel to another country. I traveled to another level. And I learned that peace doesn't come when life gets easy. It comes when the heart learns to surrender. When I left Mecca and Medina, I didn't just come back with memories. I came back with meaning. I came back with a quieter heart, a clearer mind, and a soul that finally understood what peace really feels like. Because peace ain't found in noise, fame, or fortune. It's found in surrender. It's found when you let go and let God lead. So now, every day I wake up, I don't pray for more. I pray for less. Less ego, less noise, less worry. Because the less I carry, the more room I have for faith. And if my story reminds you of anything, let it remind you of this: real success isn't about how high you climb. It's about how deeply you bow. That's peace. That's faith. That's purpose. And that's the truth I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. If this message touched your heart even a little, don't just scroll past it. Share it. Somebody out there might need to hear this today. Take a moment, breathe, and thank God for what you already have. That's where peace begins. And if you want to keep walking this journey of truth, faith, and reflection with me, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, because we're just getting started. Let's spread peace one heart at a time.